Hi, my name is Kawena Charlot, and I'm the director of the School of Intuitive Living, and I am also a psychic and an energy healer. And today we're going to talk about manifesting. What are the energetics of manifesting? What are some of the rules? How does it work? All of that good stuff that I'm sure you inquiring minds have been wanting to know. So, manifesting. When we create on an energetic level, and don't fool yourself, everything starts off on an energetic level. The house you're standing in, the building you're in, it started off as an idea in somebody's head, and then somebody created a blueprint, and then somebody put some, raised some money, and then somebody built it from the ground up. So everything always starts off in the mind. And when we're creating on an energetic level, what happens is we start creating with our thoughts and with our energy field. So the more, have you ever noticed how if you're kind of thinking in a fun, kind of frivolous way, like, oh, it would be really fun to have that, and you kind of think about it a couple of times and then it just sort of comes to you. Well, that's one of the rules of kind of manifesting. You're going to bring to you the energy of which you're putting out. So if you're thinking something's kind of fun, playful, and goofy, then you can kind of pull it in. I pulled in an entire trip to India like that. I was like, oh, that would just be fun, blah, blah, blah. And I did what we call a mock-up. And so I teach people a real tool for this in the intuitive meditation class. But for now, I'm just going to talk about some of the rules and some of the ways you can kind of try to use this in your own way. Anyway, so what you put out there is how you put it out there is how it kind of can come back to you. So when we're creating, most of what we're creating is in our subconscious. Or if you kind of think about it like a big mountain, the very top of that mountain is your conscious thought, but you have all of that mountain below it, and that is the part of which you're really creating. So if you just kind of are thinking, oh, the law of attraction or the secret, and you're kind of like, I want a new car, I want a new car, I want a new car. If you're kind of doing that, but your whole subconscious is sort of like, well, you don't deserve it, and you don't deserve anything good, and you've got a lot of negative talk and a lot of belief systems that say you aren't worthy or whatever it is. If your subconscious is not wanting you to have something, then you will create roadblocks in the process of trying to get that thing. So that's a big part of what we do in all of the classes at the School of Intuitive Living is we learn how to sort of release what we call energy in pictures. We start releasing all of this energy out of our subconscious, so it's more easy for us to create things, to manifest things, to pull up what we want to us. That's a big part of what we're doing when we're kind of clearing out and de-energizing a lot of that talk. But anyway, so when you want to create something, the first thing is you want to get a really clear idea about what it is you want. Just super clear. Get focused, because people come to me all the time going, oh, I want a relationship, or oh, I want to create this. And I'm like, look at it, and I'm like, you have no idea what you really want. They're like, well, I don't know, I just don't want my ex-boyfriend. Well, okay. Let's figure out what you didn't want about your ex-boyfriend and create the opposite. But you don't want to just create not your ex-boyfriend. You want to create what you want to create, not that you're going to go, create some person out of thin air and they're going to walk to you, but you could pull someone to you. You could manifest someone to you. You could manifest an event. You could manifest an item. You can create all of that stuff. So that's what we call creating on an energetic sense, is bringing that into your life. And so the first thing you want to do is get a very clear idea of what it is you actually want. So you get kind of clear with that, and then you start allowing yourself to notice. You want to release the subconscious elements to that. So if you start noticing throughout your day, kind of like, oh, there's a thought that says I can't believe, get that. There's a belief that's saying that, that isn't in sync with me creating that. So let's use this example of a relationship. So say somebody wants to create a relationship. They want a really healthy, wonderful person that they want to pull into their life. Well, if there's sex, there's sex. Freudian slip there. All right, so if their self-talk, is all about the opposite sex being lousy and stupid and all of that stuff, then they're going to have a much harder time manifesting that person to them, because their subconscious, what they're putting into all of your thoughts or things, they have an actual energetic resonance. And so the second thing you want to do is start catching yourself whenever anything is in dissonance. And I'm not saying to be a Pollyanna, but just try to get more realistic and try to kind of, like not all men or not not all women or something, maybe just some of them are. So if you can get more realistic and kind of cut down on the subconscious food that you're putting into your system, that's another thing that you can do if you want to start manifesting, pulling things to you. And the other thing is just kind of keep envisioning yourself having that thing. It's like a seed, and do it with that kind of positive, happy, it's going to happen. You know, try to, even just if it's something really important, just kind of think about it a couple minutes a day. Just sit down, you know, when you get home from work, like sit in your car for a few minutes, or first thing in the morning, whenever it works for you, and just kind of really, you know, close your eyes and envision you having that thing. Envision what it tastes like, what it feels like, what the whole situation, you know, just kind of keep envisioning that for yourself, and then just kind of let it go. And one of the other tricks with manifesting is to get neutral about whether or not you can have it. And that is the big challenge with manifesting, because sometimes we really want it. But it's a very interesting thing. If we want it so bad, it's like we're holding on to it, and we kind of don't allow it to, you know, like a bird, we don't allow it to kind of get its wings and fly. It's like if we put that kind of thought in that we want it to be like a little seed. We want those thoughts and that thing that we're creating on an energetic level. We want it to be like a little seed that we put in the ground and we let come on out. You know, you're not going to keep digging up your seed and go, are you sprouting? Are you sprouting? You know, just kind of let it happen. So take those thoughts, kind of envision them. You can kind of send them off into the edge of the universe. If you have a spiritual belief system, you can ask God or the supreme being, or, you know, I'm not a big fan of saying the universe because, you know, Saturn isn't going to really help you with manifesting, but if you really want to say the universe, you can. Anyway, so you can kind of put that out there and say, hey, this is what I'm kind of wanting. And the more clear you are, the more you're going to have that come back to you. So anyway, that is some of the tools, some of the methods of manifesting energetically. If you're interested in learning more about this, then I do teach actual steps for this in the intuitive meditation class at the School of Intuitive Living. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at kawenacharlot.com. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.